Is Bitcoin primed for a massive breakout? What are the likely scenarios? And most importantly, when will Bitcoin and altcoins break out to new all-time highs? Well, on March 13th, 2024, almost 3 months ago, Bitcoin made a new all-time high after seeing a massive move with 91% gains from its local low in a serious period of only 50 days, denoted right here to right here. And I can take this tool and you can see it's a bet of 91%. Bitcoin elevated the whole market and gave investors confidence to invest in virtually all other crypto tokens when it added almost $700 billion to its own market cap. We can safely assume this is because Bitcoin has been steadily increasing its market dominance since September of 2022. Denoted by the Bitcoin dominance chart, as you can see right here. And it's been in a steady climb and an increase and arguably a dramatic uptrend, okay, from the bottom right here in September 8th or 9th, okay, all the way to present day at 54.57% of the total market cap. Even back in August of 2023, you can see here, we've steadily been climbing up, putting in higher highs and arguably higher lows. Now, whether or not this thing remains low down here or breaks down, if it breaks down, then we can safely assume that altcoins are taking the lead on the next advance. But if this thing continues to trend up, then chances are Bitcoin is going to put in those new highs first. So, since early April, markets have been boring. Crypto Twitter has been nearly dead, and only the true degenerates, aka gambling addicts, have been trying to pump meme coins across all chains with varying success. Needless to say, most of the real profits were made in a 2 to 3 month period about 3 months ago. Most inexperienced retail investors have likely been stopped out or capitulated, while institutional players and experienced traders appear to be adding to their positions here based on a few indicators. First and foremost, at the beginning of May, Bitcoin experienced a shakeout, otherwise known as a bear trap. And we can see that denoted right here on this little portion of the chart, right? We broke down right here below what would be considered a range low, and then broke right back into the range, and we're supported right here for a move to a new high relative to the previous high. Okay, and in virtually all scenarios, a steady uptrend to previous all-time highs on lower market volume. And we're going to show you right here. We will reset the chart view. We will remove drawings. Okay, and I'm going to pull up that volume. You can see that volume has consistently declined from here to here, even though from this range right here, the price and trend have started to incline back to previous all-time highs. So not only have we broke above, okay, this range right here, we're starting to see support right here, and we are putting in new highs, and now we are also above that 10 and 20 EMA and seeing support there. So it's extremely likely on this volume that we're going to start to increase in the volume as we start to reach these previous range all-time highs. Okay. Second, on May 29th, we just saw the largest negative net flow of Bitcoin since November 8th of 2023, right before Bitcoin advanced from 36.1K all the way up to 73.8K. This is extremely bullish because investors have taken it upon themselves to consistently buy Bitcoin from exchanges only to remove it to their private wallets. This is usually an indicator that they plan to hold Bitcoin for the long term, creating a supply crunch if demand increases. And demand virtually always increases if the price reaches previous all-time highs. So we're going to show you what that looks like. If you come over to Crypto Quant, okay, and you just go to the charts section and you go to the exchange flows and you hop on over here to net flow totals. Okay, I have all of these kind of, I have the net flow positive removed for the sake of this example. And as you can see here, that net flows, and I'll show you how to find out, but net flows have consistently been more negative than they have been positive. Actually, the last time we had a major negative net flow was right here at a negative 41.9 thousand Bitcoin on November 8th. And when that had happened, it kind of gave the markets that breathing room in order to move higher up into new highs. And yet again, and most recently, we had about 30, I want to say, it's hard to see, 36,228 Bitcoin removed from exchanges at an average price of around $68,000. And so what that's telling you is that these major institutional players are removing it from exchanges because they believe that Bitcoin is going to go higher. So net flows have been constantly negative throughout the year. And if I even take an EMA at 100 average, okay, and then we go ahead and read this right here, the difference between coins flowing into and out of an exchange, positive value indicates reserves is increasing. For spot exchange, high value indicates increasing sell pressure. For derivative exchange, high value indicates possible high volatility. But what this also means is that any value below zero on this yellow line, because the white line is the price of Bitcoin, okay, on average, if it's below zero, that means more Bitcoin is flowing out of exchanges over a 100-day period on a rolling basis, okay, then with that EMA, then is flowing into exchanges, which means one thing, that all of the demand in Bitcoin, if it continues to increase, well, there's going to be less and less supply. And as basic supply and demand economics work, Bitcoin's price should go up. Okay. So now that we visited that, you can go ahead and take care of that and look into it for yourself. But finally, starting on May 25th at an average price of $68,320, large investors not only held their positions, but increased their Bitcoin holdings by a whopping 170,000 Bitcoins, amounting to $11.61 billion. And again, that is spot Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. If I come over to app.into the block and I come over to the ownership stats and I go to all ownership stats, okay, it'll look something like this. And you can see these are all the actual major investors and holders of Bitcoin right here. And we have them holding about 10.6% of the total supply with 2.09 million Bitcoin. What I'm really after here, and as you can see, this goes back to 2010, I'm really just after this last month. And as you can see here in the last month, since May, and as we wait for this thing to load, giving it a second. As we wait for this thing to load, you can see here on May 21st, those major investors held a total of 1.92 million Bitcoin at that all-time high. And they did not decrease their holdings throughout that range. In other words, the smart money in Bitcoin. Okay. But then here on May 25th, you can see it tick up to 1.94 million Bitcoin. And then it continued ticking up to 2.08, and it ranged there, and now it's sitting at 2.09. So they added $11.61 billion in this period of time from the previous all-time high to present day. Okay. With all this said, we are nearing the end of this long crypto stagnation, and I thoroughly expect Bitcoin to break out to new all-time highs soon. My targets over the upcoming couple of months, and let me remove these drawings, okay, would be actually pretty straightforward. I'm looking for a break above the 72,000 range, and obviously I would watch price action very, very closely. But if I took a simple fib tool, okay, and showed you that consistently on those previous all-time highs to the declines, okay, we started reaching that 1618 and then the 2.41 range on Bitcoin. And we did yet again back here from this high to this low. Okay, well then you could just do the same dang thing. If Bitcoin had already hit a high of 74,000 and we toss it right down there, you can see that the next major move should take us easily into that 1618 range at 87,000 all the way up to that $108,000 range. But my theory is we're likely going to, because 100,000 will be the first time we've ever touched it, it's a whole round number. I think a lot of people will anticipate it hitting that range, and for that reason alone, I would anticipate it either breaking before that range, breaking down before that range, or hitting just above that range only to break back down, and then it remains to be seen what the price would do. I'll be adding to all of my crypto positions here, and will continue to do so through the unforeseen volatility at the 73,500 level. So if, for example, we start to range back into this high, okay, we break out just highly and then break right back down. If the volume is not massive to the downside here, then it's likely a shakeout, and I'll continue to adding to my positions into that move up to 96,000. And then again, I will watch the prices closely. And as always, if you want to learn more about how to analyze crypto like this, then head on over to bullrunners.com. cryptomillionaire.com. Okay, and you can get access to our new guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it is released. We teach you everything we know in that guidebook. And so thanks so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.